welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's Teen Mom Recap. Before I get started, I would love it if you guys would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos weekly about Teen Mom 2, Teen Mom OG, and other news going on in the reality TV world. In addition to that, if you want to find out how you can get 3 months for free of ExpressVPN and want to know more about that, go ahead and click my link down in the description down below, expressvpn.com/AnastasiaRecaps. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This episode starts with Ashley. Her mom asks about her official wedding plans because she wants to be very involved, like down to the dress. Ashley jokes that she's gonna choose a Fashion Nova G-string dress for her mom to wear. Anyway, something Barr wants to accomplish before the wedding is getting his GED. I've been supposed to take my GED for 5 years now, but I always find an excuse. But because of COVID, they're doing it online now, so I'm finally gonna give it a try. I want to go to college. Ashley says she wants Barr to set a good example. Honestly, missed opportunity to say that you wanted him to set the bar high, but she makes up for it because then she possibly says my favorite line in this episode, Barr is really smart. I don't think people know this because he has 4 eyebrows, but he's smart. Ashley's actually hilarious though, I like her. Brianna let Devon take Nova to gymnastics again and also pick her up. And of course he straight up forgets to pick her up. Once again, Nova was the last one there and waiting for over an hour to get picked up. Brianna doesn't get the voicemail from the gym until later that Nova was stuck there, so she had to go pick her up and she was late. She sends a long message to Devon, screenshot scene here, basically saying, "You let me down every single time." And he responds, "You can't be mad for her all the time, Brianna." I know there's a lot of Devon fans, and I would really just like to hear you guys explain why this dude is late or no-show almost every single time he has to be there for Nova. It's not once, it's not twice, not even 3 times. All of which I could let slide because things happen. No, it's literally every single episode he's on. Brianna's storyline does not change, and Devon does not change. It's really starting to look like he simply doesn't care. All the alarms in the world can't get this dude up to pick up his own kid. It's sad. Leah tells Corey about her breast tumor so he doesn't have to hear it from the girls. Once again, they're at their parking lot drop-off, and Corey clearly doesn't want to hear one thing about Leah's breasts, tumor or not. She's over here talking about possible cancer, and Corey's like, okay, I'm aware. Miranda, girl, you do not have to worry about him cheating ever again. Corey clearly could not give less of a flying fuck about Leah, unless it involves their kids, which is probably a good thing, don't get me wrong. Leah's kid's school calls and tells them that there was a COVID case, so school is shut down for the next 2 weeks. Leah has to cancel her tumor appointment as she's now worried about passing COVID on to Allie. Shawn goes to visit Jade, quote unquote. You can hear the pleading in Shawn's voice while he's complimenting her new house. Wow, sure feels comfy here, Jade. Sure feels homey. I wouldn't know though, I live in a hotel. Jade is oblivious. She's like, I'm so happy, Shawn. You're doing more of the things that I wanted you to do. You moving out was the best thing ever. But later in her vlog, she admits that they did discuss him moving in off camera, but she's on the fence about it. Yeah, Shawn's on the fence too. As in, waiting on your fence, sitting there for permission to come inside. Like a sad dog. Kail lets Isaac have a cell phone, of course without consulting his other parent about it whatsoever. So after Kail does her podcast with V and Joe, Joe's like, hey, how about that phone, huh? Does it have any parental controls on it? Kail is clearly annoyed that her authority is being questioned. I guess she prefers to pretend that Joe is an absent father like Chris that doesn't care what she gives her kids. He had an iPad at my house for 4 years, Joe, and I highly doubt he knows how to clear his internet searches. But if you don't want him to have it, I guess we can save it for later. V is worried that Isaac's gonna find Pornhub. Or even worse, Kail's Dr. Miami ass surgery. Yikes. Joe says, I don't know how I feel about him having a phone. I wish that we had talked about it together before you bought one. And Kail gives him a death glare. Just Kail being a control freak as usual. I'm sure she'll be filing a complaint in court next episode, even though Joe is right. They both should be making the decisions together, and at some point, Isaac will probably try to look up things he isn't supposed to be. He's a young boy, it happens. And Joe probably knows that better than Kail. Devon calls his friend to explain himself about him being late, but there really wasn't much of an explanation. He's like, I agreed to pick her up, and I did forget, so I feel like, damn. But it isn't worth fighting over. She makes it sound like I'm the worst dad in the world. Every kid gets picked up late in their life. She's just trying to capitalize off the situation. I mean, yeah, she does make money from him and Lewis being losers. That part is true. But a parent being late once in a while is way different than being late every single time. Literally every episode, this is the same storyline. He's late, he doesn't come. Devon shows up late, Brianna gets pissed. Devon shows up late, Brianna gets pissed. Lewis doesn't show up at all, Brianna gets pissed, and then she has sex with him. Barr is taking all 4 of his GED tests online this week. Ashley meets up with her friend and talks about how she's also taking online classes. Specifically, she's taking prereqs for a humanities college degree. Her friend says, I don't even know what humanities is. What is humanities? Damn, looking kinda old to not know that. Maybe she could go form a study group with Barr. After all, Barr ends up taking and passing 2 of the GED tests so far. Good for him. Ashley is hopeful, but she's also cautious because it has been 5 years. Most people get whole-ass college degrees in like less than 5 years. Kail has a chat with Isaac about his cell phone is a privilege and she can take it away whenever she wants and she needs to approve all of his contacts. And he's not allowed to have the phone alone in his room. That's good that she's setting some boundaries. Honestly, maybe Kail's nanny should set those same rules for Kail's cell phone, so she stops calling Chris at 3 a.m. with star 67 and leaving him creepy voicemails, and posting pictures of her naked with a horse. Like, she could have used some boundaries of her own there. When Kail asks what contacts that Isaac wants at his phone, the first person he says is not her, not Joe, but he wants his ex-girlfriend Zoe, who he hasn't talked to in 3 months. Shawn has improved to the point where Jade allows him to watch Chloe, and that's about it. The producer is suspicious, so she pulls Shawn to the side alone and asks him what's really going on. He says, in my eyes, we're still together, even if Jade acts like it's something different. I just need to keep a positive mindset. She wants to trust me, but she can't. But I'm still the guy she fell in love with. I got her a gift to reassure her that I'm not going anywhere, and I'm here for her. Ooh, he got a ring. Leah FaceTimes her friend and asks what's up. She says, just working, trying not to get COVID. Haha, wouldn't know about either of those things. The girls are out of school until further notice, and it's difficult on us. Gracie doesn't want to risk bringing COVID home to Allie, so we're going to remain very cautious even though things are opening up in my state. Brianna decides to take Nova on a girls' trip as a kind of, I'm sorry for picking a shitty-ass dad for you. So she wants to explore the lakes of Florida, so they decide to go kayaking with Brittany and Shirley. That's good for them. I mean, I live in Florida, and the only lake I know is Land O'Lakes, and maybe Lake Okeechobee. That little circle in the middle of Florida. Barr takes his final GED test and he passes the GED completely. Congratulations to Barr. Ashley's proud of him, but she's also like, wow, 5 years you wasted not doing it, but when they put it online, you did it in a week. Almost like that 1,800 days you procrastinated doing it was completely unnecessary. This opens doors for you, Barr. I'm gonna hang it on Holly's wall. And then Ashley says, I was thinking that we make it a requirement that Holly attends high school. What do you think of that? And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. What? What do you mean make high school a requirement? The law makes it a requirement. Like, that's bare minimum level education. I would understand if she was saying this about college, like, oh, I think it'd be a good idea if she went to college. But, like, the way he and Ashley are talking is, like, before this conversation, they were gonna make high school optional for Holly. Wild. Anyway, Barr is eager to enroll in college now that he has his GED. Shawn takes Jade's friend to the side and tells her, I don't trust Jade's grandma or her mom to keep a secret. Can't blame him, but I can trust you. Look here, I got Jade a ring and I'm gonna propose soon. What do you think about it? And her friend loves it. She's like, oh my god, what a nice ring. Aw, it just really warms my heart to see all these proposals that were filmed like 6 months ago, and then now Barr just got arrested again and Ashley took him off her social media, and Shawn was found with a verified profile on Tinder, meaning it is absolutely him. And Jade was not too happy about that. So I'm not sure how those engagements are doing now. Brianna and family go kayaking at Lake Osceola, and honestly, it looks like a really fun time. Brianna keeps moving around, and Brittany's like, stop rocking the boat! This ain't in the Leah music video. Leah's kids all test negative for coronavirus, so they plan to start going out again. But then it's revealed that Jeremy actually tested positive for COVID, and Addie looks pretty stressed out over it. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom 2. What do you think of Devon showing up late for the 86th time? And what do you think about Barr getting his GED? Go ahead and leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.